And now the host of Watch Me Get Old, James Edward Parks Jr. Hey, you guys, this is James Edward Parks Jr., and I'm sitting here behind the Resolute desk in the Capitol. They let me slide my easy chair up in here on account of, just on account of I'm like me or something. I went up there. I said, "Hey man, you mind if I like slide my chair up behind the Resolute desk?" And they're like, "Ah, you go on ahead." I'm just playing with you, of course. But yeah, my name is James Parks, and this here is Watch Me Get Old. You know? Oh, hey, come here, Scooby-Doo. I want to introduce you to my pal, Scooby-Doo. Come here, Scooby. Come here, buddy. You got to say hi. Come here. Hey, come here, boy. Hey, come here and jump up here. Come here, brother. Come on. There's that little booger. There's that little. Here's my good old boy. Let's see. Where'd I put that thing? Right here. Yeah. That's Scooby-Doo. He's my bud. I like him. He's been with me for like he's like 7 years old now. Anyway, I got him or him and I shouldn't say I got him, right? Him and I became pals like in 2016. So yeah, we've been around together for we've been around together for a while, but yeah, hey, my name is James Parks Jr., and I'm the host of this here show. This is my new show, Watch Me Get Old, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to watch me get old, okay? Oops. Hey, that didn't work out right. Oh, you know why? Because I was switching everything around. Hold on a second here. This is my first show, so you got to give me a little bit of slack, all right? Here, now it ought to work. All right, yeah. See, I live way out west, and as you can tell, I'm getting a little bit old. You know, I'm not real old. I'm only like 65 years old. All right, so I kind of consider that like being the young part of getting old. You know, like my great grandfather, he lived to be 97 years old. So I guess there's a possibility that I could live to be 97 years old. So a long time ago, I said to myself, you know, you only get to live one time. So I want to like experience everything I can experience, including like whenever I pass away. I want to experience that to the fullest. You know, and oh man, I've been getting bored with like playing games all the time and live streaming games. You know, before that I live streamed like a lot of politics and stuff like that, but I wanted something different, you know, and I just didn't feel like things were just going the way I wanted them to go. And I was watching a video about a lady who was like 84 years old, and her shoulder was gone bad on her. And she said, you know, I wish somebody would have told me about all these things that would happen, you know, like whenever I got to be 84 years old and stuff. And I thought, hey, you know, maybe I would do that. I'll start now at 65 and just make shows about getting old, you know. I'll do them like maybe a couple times a week or something. I have to figure up a schedule, right? And make different topics about, you know, what the things that have affected me. And I'm not going to try to make out like I'm something that I'm not, okay? I'm not some big old like psychiatrist with degrees or anything like that, all right? I'm just a guy who is experiencing it for himself. before I retired, I was an aircraft mechanic. I did that for 40 years. Worked Department of Defense jobs, worked on commercial jetliners. And I was in the Navy and all that. The Navy, that's where I learned how to work on that. But I can't do that anymore because my body, through the years, things has happened to it. Like one of the things that affected my body real bad was hepatitis C. That was the beginning of the end of my work history, because I tried keeping on working, and I was getting so sick that I just couldn't keep up, and my mind was getting foggy with the hepatitis brain fog. I mean, it's a real thing. It was horrible. So I went to the VA and started getting the ribavirin and the interferon treatments, and I got rid of the hepatitis. So I started pumping irons. I wanted to go get a job with SpaceX. This is about 10 years ago. I was 55. I wanted to get a job with SpaceX. I was figuring, you know what? I'm better now. I don't have hepatitis no more. I'm gonna get strong again. I'll start pumping iron again, and get a job with SpaceX. Then I woke up one morning and I was down. Right there. Right here on my neck, there was a big old lump. So I went to the Veterans Administration Hospital, and they took a sample of what was inside of there, and it turned out to be neck cancer. So I ended up having to get like radiation treatments and chemotherapy and everything. And let me tell you something. That was it. That's all she wrote for my working on airplanes. Now I'm too weak and debilitated from all that chemotherapy and fighting cancer and everything to work. Now I'm just, I'm 65 now, so a lot of water's went under the bridge. That cisplatin, that's the chemotherapy they gave me. That stuff, that's like platinum. It messed up my solar plexus, and now my bicep is just totally paralyzed. I got no strength hardly for nothing. I get out in the backyard and I make my garden and stuff, so I go out there and work a couple hours in the morning on it. And I'm wiped out. I come in the house and, chill, and then maybe later on I'll feel a little better, go out there some more. But damn, things sure ain't the same as what there was like, 20 years ago. I used to bench press 250 pounds. I was an ass kicker, man. Now I can't. Now you can blow me over with a feather. So that's why I'm doing this, is because I don't know. It seems like there's a detachment between young people and old people, and maybe it's because nobody has told them anything. I watched my grandfather as he got old, but I don't really remember him telling me like what it was like or what kind of problems he was going through or anything associated with being elderly. And grandmother, she ended up with Alzheimer's, and I guess she wouldn't have been able to tell me anything.
No, come,
but now
scope.
We have social media, we have YouTube, we have all these different things, the internet. We're in the 21st century. So I'm going to leave a record of it, of me getting old. So I don't know, it might last 10 years, 100 years. 100 years. It may last 10 years or what. I don't know. This stream may end tomorrow. Somebody might have to finish it up for a funeral. Okay? Turn that music down just a tad. So that's what we're going to be doing. See how long I've been on it. I'm going to try to keep them down to around 15 minutes, around there, and I'll do some live streams, and I will do some, like, things that I make in advance and upload them, things like that. We would talk about like Social Security and just any old thing that would affect an old person, like cost of living. That's a big one right there. Social Security. You know what? If it wasn't for I'll just talk about one thing right now, Social Security, since we're on the subject. If it wasn't for Social Security, you know where I'd be? I'd be on the street. That's right. Because whenever I got hepatitis and started trying to get Social Security, because I was too sick to work, it took me 2 years, 2 solid years, and I lost everything. So, lucky for me, a federal judge took one look at me and gave me a bench decision. Yeah, bud, you got it, And ever since then, I've been able to support myself and not live in poverty and not be in danger of, being sick in a homeless shelter. Can you imagine that? You're taking these chemotherapy and stuff, and you're having to live in a homeless shelter because you lost everything and didn't have any insurance or nothing. I didn't have any like medical insurance except for the Veterans Administration. I was a contract worker, So, oh man, I just thank my lucky stars for that federal judge that granted me that bench decision, And if you're a young person, hey, this is the old guy going to tell you this, bro. If you're a young person, don't let them guys pull no Social Security or mess with it or anything. They like pull some tricks or something, all right? They're like, oh, you know what? We'll raise the Social Security age to 70 years old, and we'll tell all those pensioners like me, oh, that ain't going to affect you or anything, or like if you're 60 years old now, oh, that ain't going to affect you. Not only affect people in the future, that's going to affect you young people is who's going to affect. But then they tell you young people, they say, oh, you know what? If we abolish Social Security, you get to keep all that money on your check. And I thought that too whenever I was 30, 35, when I was working for Lockheed and stuff. I thought, yeah, if they got rid of Social Security, I'd be able to keep all that money on my check. But you know what? I am sure as hell glad they didn't get rid of Social Security, because if it hadn't been for Social Security, I'd be up shit creek without a paddle. I'd be begging. I'd be one of those other poor souls on the streets begging. And I'm a veteran. And that don't mean that I deserve to eat and somebody else don't. But if it wasn't for the Veterans Administration and having that the medical, I would probably be dead right now, because they're the ones that cured me from my cancer. I would be dead right now. It's been 10 years that I've been cancer free, and they check up on me all the time. I have an appointment tomorrow. So I'm telling you, don't let them ruin Social Security. But you know what? That's the intro for my show here. Watch me get old. And I doubt anybody's looking at this right now. This is my first show. I don't got any likes or shares or nothing. So get in there and like my video and share it. And I promise I'm going to put on some more. And we'll talk about other things, about what it's like getting old. In July, I'll be 66. So there'll be another one. I have to change that to 66 and counting. So let's do it, you guys. I love y'all, and thank you for showing up. Right on. Let's see if I can do this properly here. I can't even hardly see. My eyes are getting blurry. There we go. Right there. All right. You guys, we'll see you in the future.